So what's up? How you doing today? We are going to take a look at Bob's approach to Eyes of the World. This is not going to be, note for note thing of this is exactly what he's doing because, that's not really what he typically did, but especially not in a tune like this, except for a few spots. But overall, we're going to be referencing a little bit of the approach from the, I think it's 5/17/73, the one from the Pacific album. I think it's the Vancouver show. I really like that version, and there's that very specific jam they do at the end, the third one. We're going to take a look at that, but first, let's give a listen to the intro into the verse, be playing along with the track with it, and then we'll check out what's going on. So, this tune is mostly in E major and revolving around a E major 7th chord, a little different than most stuff you hear, although there are some spots where we got stuff outside of the key we'll check out later. But the beginning there's just jamming on that one chord there. So it's got that major 7th, and Bob's playing something up here, kind of like getting this little thing. He's just playing it's actually a G sharp minor triad, just those 3 notes of like this chord like this. You put that over an E, and voila, it makes it sound like an E major 7. So he's got that little thing right there. Then right here, which is actually like playing a C sharp minor chord like this, which is that little part real quick, and then to here, which is another inversion of that G sharp minor chord. Basically, in the end, it just ways of playing around, and that's it. So he's kind of toying around with that, and then getting to the verse. Again, it's always going to be a little different, but just kind of like following a little loosely the approach from that one version, just as a way to simplify, kind of a little reference point. So he's getting down here, which is the same thing. Just play these 3 notes here. It's this G sharp minor thing again. This is just one way to think of it, but different inversion over these 3 strings here. And then we go to A, but he's just getting these 2 notes right here in the middle. And sometimes he'll do a little sus thing. He just throws in that note there. So it's like 6 and 7 right here. It's like the middle part of an A chord. It's like he's not playing bar chords all the time. Sometimes he does, but that gets a little boring. Bob's got he's got finesse. He's got a little stuff going on here. So get those 2 notes, a little sus there, back to it, and then he's got this little thing. This is where he does typically play this every time. You got the so it's kind of outlining a E major chord to the major 7. That's kind of like going down the scale there, the E major scale. And then got those hits, just a B minor, A. Again, you could do the whole chord. I just hear it sometimes doing these little like small things. Triads, which is something in my own playing I do a lot of, just playing a lot of triads. Even for lead playing too, everything, just obsessed with triads. Right, does that again, and then it goes into the pre-chorus, but let's give that a listen and see what's going on with it. So here we're going over an A, and again this is where we're going to really start varying out. We can be playing up here, but in this version I'm here to do it here. He does this little slide thing, kind of like that. C sharp minor, a B, so same thing, but up 2 frets here, and then back down 2 frets to A, C sharp minor, and sometimes little fills and things like that in there. Little things in there too on the B, D. So this is outside of the key. You hear it kind of like rises up, right? And and then to an A, which is not jumping way down. You could, but it's like, okay, just a little closer. This A right here, these three. To an E, this time just a regular E. A. Sometimes put that in parentheses, puts the little sus thing in there. And then E. And sometimes it goes, oh, sorry, I should have written it this way. This 5, 4, 6. And then sometimes he plays this. It's just an A, just real quick and passive. Type of thing like a keyboard, piano player does that kind of stuff all the time. Then goes to the actual A and C. So C's also, you hear how it jumps up, kind of that high up. It's outside of the key. And those are hits. And that brings us into the chorus, which is kind of it's a little temporary key change. It goes to the key of G, and that C helps transition us there. And let's give that a listen. But before we do, I should point out that the second and third pre-chorus, they skip the second line. So you can think of it as 3 lines. They got the first and third, but they jump right to that E kind of quickly. But we don't need to listen to that. It's the same thing. They just kind of delete a little bit of that. But now let's give a listen to the chorus and see what's going on with that. So again, now we're in G, and you can play it, down here, up here, whatever. We're gonna look at it like this. You got the G here, C right here, right? So again, just a lot of triads, just close there, nice smooth transitions. And then we got that same lick from before, but now on G. And then I hear in this version him doing C up here, and then throwing in this note right here, an A. Just makes like a C6 real quick. So, just makes it kind of soulful sounding. Does that twice, and then it goes up to a D, and then a little bit of a climb, so you're going from the C. Little chromatic thing. Makes it sound more dramatic. Playing the D like this, put it up here. You can kind of do this one here, this one here. Do both at the same time. Mix it around, C, I put all 4. You can just do these 3, these 3 again. Same idea, mixing it around, and then back to that lick. Same thing. Back to G, C. This time right to the D, and then those hits again. Now you can do B minor like this. And this stuff's new to you. This is like a real crash course on lots of voicings, lots of different ways of playing chords, a lot of stuff with triads. So B minor to A, and then into the solo section. But let's give a listen to me playing over the first solo section. I've got 3 of them. They're all a little different, but let's give a listen to the first one, and I'll show you what's going on. So this one is just 2 bars of E major 7 to B minor, and that is outside of the key for this one brief moment. This just one note. It's not like it's really outside of the key, but this, when you're in here, you got this G sharp. That is the major 7. You got 1, 3, 5, major 7. Those are the 4 notes that make up that chord. You can just play those notes all in place, right? And D sharp, right? You can go backwards down here. But if you flat it by 1 fret, that's a D. So when you play a B minor, there's a D in there. So that's just that one note down there. And the way he's kind of playing around the first time, he's up here, just playing these again. But you can't play all 4. You can play these three again. You can always just play little pieces. That's a big key to kind of Bob's playing, is don't play like a full chord all the time. Just play little pieces, and then you can be much more interesting and kind of you can build your dynamics more. It gives you kind of like options, and it gives you flexibility. You can be much more melodic and things like that. It opens up your fingering too. If you're locked down like a bar chord, you get kind of stuck. It's like, oh, you get this finger a little bit, but these ones are stuck here. You get your fingers more free to do stuff. So anyways, he's playing that chord there, right? And then for B minor, you just move it up. It's a great way. I could make a million lessons on this kind of stuff of voice leading and just like, it's just moving that same thing up there, but it's changing the quality. So because you're thinking about this shape over an E gives you a major 7th sound. This one over a B gives you a B minor sound, even though it's the same shape. Then he does this little thing I was hearing. He's throwing this note right here, just moving it down, and that makes it sound like a B minor 9, even though it doesn't have the minor note. Or no, sorry, it still does. It has this D right here, which makes it B minor. So it's like. Yeah, sometimes I wrote just like once, but kind of like going quick twice. Just gives a little bit of movement, adds a little more color to it, makes it a little more distinct stuff. So that's the first solo. There's endless ways we can do it, but that's just one option. Oh, and first, actually, before we do look at the next section, another alternate way that I heard him do it is you do like play your E major 7. E major 7. I can speak here. So the E major 7 like this, and the same idea of moving the idea around. Just move it down this way this time, 2 frets down, and that gives you a B minor 9. And then you can mix and match with all stuff. So now you get 2 different ways. You can go like. See, all of a sudden there's just so much movement going on. It's much more melodic than just going like. Which sounds, sounds great too. But you can't really go anywhere. When you're talking about playing Grateful Dead music, you want to be able to go places, and you certainly don't want to just copy somebody else. You want to go your own places, and when you're playing with other people, which is the ideal place to be, you're going to be listening to everybody and going with the flow in this kind of collective nature. So the more you know, or the more you have things down, the better. You don't have to know everything. Just know what you know really well. So let's check out the second solo section and then see what's going on with that. So now they're doing E flat major, 2 bars, B minor, and then going right to A. So just a little twist there. And here's one way. Heard him doing something similar like this, where he's like kind of playing around his E major 7 now down here. And just playing little pieces again, like this. So just kind of hammering down from the major 7 to the E and back. And then jumping way up to that B minor, just a little triad shape like that. And then similar stuff I was showing you earlier. except I'm sorry, just going once real quick. And then to an A down here. So you're gonna hear that. And I think sometimes he was doing up this like thing in 6 like that too. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But now let's give a listen to just some parts of the third jam, because this is a long one. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already getting a little long as it is. But some little snippets of it, and I'll show you what I was doing. So this one starts off E major, but 7, but this time it just hangs in the E major 7. Goes for a while, and often there'd be like a fill bass solo or something like that. Sometimes Jerry would go, it'd always be different, right? And you can just basically do any of the stuff we've been looking at for the E major. I've already shown you several ways to play the chord here and little nuances, within it. Then it goes to a G sharp minor 7, and a lot of stuff I was doing, I was just trying to keep it simple to not be too overwhelming of different options and stuff. But it's just a G. Here's a G sharp minor 7, like this, right? And then you just try to using your fingers, just explore around and find other spots, like. Then it goes back to the E major 7. Just keeps going back and forth with that. Then eventually it goes to an E flat minor 7. You can just do the same thing, but now down here on the 6th fret. E flat minor 7. All the same stuff. Then we have a weird one. This is like a little bit of that Slipknot sound here. We got E flat right here, diminished 7. So you can get it like that. Any little piece of that, you can get these different things up here. You can just break it off into single notes. There's so many things we could do there. We could really make a lot of make a lot of videos about that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna keep it simple here and just show you that basic kind of chord for now, because that's all you really need to know. You don't need to know like, oh, what is going on with diminished stuff, all these things. It doesn't really matter. You just get that one chord. You'll be fine, you know. So then we are going back to E major 7. This is just jumping all the place. Back to the E flat minor 7. Then we've got the riff. Everybody plays together. Right? Does that 4 times. Then it goes to a D minor 7. Another one. We can just keep it simple and just play that stuff. There's a lot of things he's doing here that we could be looking at too. There's stuff called quartal harmony, not chordal, but quartal with a Q. Something that I like to do a lot. I like to go even further with that kind of stuff than Bob used to. But just keep it simple. Just play just that minor 7 shape right there. Goes back to the riff. Does that thing back and forth. The riff, D minor 7, 3 times, and then they end it. And that's it. Shouldn't just say that's it. That's a lot of stuff there, right? A lot of chords. But just take it real slow, and above all, no matter what you do when you play with it, make sure you're playing it well and that the rhythm is really there. I didn't even really get into any of that kind of stuff, but just use your ear to listen and make sure you're playing in the pocket and don't worry about being too fancy with the chords. When I first started learning chords, I would do that. I would try to play big chords and it would sound too much, you know. Just play little pieces, get familiar with those chords, familiar with the little pieces, and doing little things and doing your own thing. Don't worry about too much what Bob's doing, what I was doing. But above all, make sure you're playing it well and you got it in the pocket, because the rhythm is much more important than the actual notes that you're playing. So hopefully that helps. And if you want to check out more Bob's Chords videos, check out his playlist over here. Have fun, and I'll see you in one of the next videos.